Today we're in my hometown of Bristol and we're going to visit 5 of its most historic pubs. We're starting here at the Hatchet Inn, which claims to be Bristol's oldest pub.
Bristol has no shortage of pubs, but some are more than just places for a pint. They're time capsules filled with centuries of stories. I'm Nicola, and this is Carl, and today we're taking you to 5 fascinating Bristol pubs you should visit at least once. Number 1. The Hatchet Inn. The Hatchet Inn is one of Bristol's oldest pubs. It dates back to 1606, and every nook and cranny tells a story. It's cosy inside and is now operated by J.W. Bassett.
Cheers from the Hatchet.
Its name is thought to originate from the axes or hatchets used by local woodsmen in Clifton Woods. One of our first dates was here. I'll show you around now. I particularly like the beams on the ceilings.
There's a gruesome rumour that this door is covered in layers of human skin, and that rumour has persisted for more than 400 years. The skin was allegedly from criminals. If you come here on a Friday or Saturday night, you're sure to hear a Bristolian recounting the tale, but it has never been proved either way because it's now covered in layers of black paint.
Blackbeard was a frequent visitor to the pub.
During the 18th century, people came here to see the rat pit and cockfighting.
In the 19th century, there was a bare-knuckle boxing ring in the rear of the pub, and several English champions trained here.
Moving on.
Number 2. The King's Head. The King's Head is located on Victoria Street, right next to Bristol's very own Leaning Tower, Temple Church. This classic small pub dates back to around 1660 and has a wonderful interior. Not only is it Grade 2 listed, but the Victorian barback is the second oldest in the UK. A narrow area around the bar leads to the tramcar bar at the rear. Local brewery Good Chemistry recently started running this pub, and you'll find a selection of independent cask ales and drinks. You can buy the t-shirt I'm wearing from thebristolshop.co.uk. UK delivery is free, and you'll find a brilliant selection of gifts and art by local artists. Gert Lush. Number 3. The Ostrich. A walk along the harbour takes you to the Ostrich. The outdoor seating beside the harbour is a wonderful place to relax on a summer's day, but this is February, so we're going inside.
Imagine this in the summer. Diddle, diddle, diddle.
This pub dates back to the 1740s, and inside you'll find a cave.
Hiya.
I'll show you around now.
Cheers from the Ostrich.
The pub backs onto Redcliffe Hill, a large sandstone hill which was extensively quarried for sand to feed Bristol's glass businesses. The cave inside the pub is tucked in the corner and is part of a larger network known as the Redcliffe Caves. They've added the skeleton for a bit of extra drama. It's a popular pub. We're just visiting on an incredibly wet Tuesday afternoon in February. It's now operated by local brewery Buckham. Moving on. Number 4. The Hole in the Wall.
The toad in the... What am I on about? The Hole in the Wall originally began as a tavern for sailors. It was actually called the Coach and Horses, but it was renamed because of its famous feature here, the spy hole.
In the 18th century, sailors and smugglers could have been kidnapped by press gangs and forcibly recruited into serving in the British Navy. The spy hole was used to watch out for those press gangs. The tavern and its spy hole is believed to be the inspiration for the Spyglass Tavern in the novel Treasure Island. Inside, it's now hard to imagine how the tavern would have inspired Robert Louis Stevenson to write the scene where Jim Hawkins met Long John Silver shortly before setting sail.
Was that who would have emailed me, Leanne? Yeah. She messaged me at, the first one was at 9:30 at night. I was like, Jesus, you're working late.
Unfortunately, we were unable to take a closer look at the spy hole due to a water leak. It's disappointing that the generic pub interior does not reflect the historical significance of this pub.
Cheers from the Hole in the Wall.
Although it proudly states that this pub was founded in 1746 on the outside, the interior has been completely stripped of anything interesting. It just has this generic sort of pub look. Never mind. Moving on.
If you can take a closer look at the spy hole, it's worth a visit, and the outdoor seating area is much more pleasant in the summer. Number 5. The Llandoger Trow. Excuse my Welsh pronunciation, it's even worse after a few pints. You'll find the Llandoger Trow on King Street. I'll add the name and address of every pub we visited to my video description. So, why the Welsh name? Well, the Llandoger Trow was built in 1664 and it was named after a type of flat-bottoms boat or trow built in Llandoger in Monmouthshire. Goods would be transported between Llandoger and Bristol along the Bristol Channel, so you could expect to find this pub bustling with sailors.
Cheers from the Llandoger Trow.
The pub's biggest claim to fame is literary. It's widely believed that Daniel Defoe may have met the real-life inspiration for Robinson Crusoe here, the Scottish sailor Alexander Selkirk. And the pub is said to have inspired Robert Louis Stevenson to write about the Admiral Benbow in Treasure Island. The pub is also supposedly haunted with up to 15 ghosts.
Moving on.
There are so many more interesting pubs in Bristol, so make sure you subscribe as we'll be visiting many more. Which ones are your favourites? Cheers, and until next time, happy exploring!